But even if your favorite politicians win their races, will they follow through with what they promised you? Author and former prosecutor Dan McMillan says they may have to choose between you and their big donors. McMillan's currently researching the role big money plays in our election process and our policy making. He's the founder of SaveDemocracyInAmerica.org, and I spoke with him earlier. The Republican Party, we see pretty significant divisions happening, mostly between the likes of more established figures like Mitch McConnell versus Trump and kind of Trump-backed allies. Do you feel the more populists like Bernie Sanders, Donald Trump, when they get into power and their people get into power, they follow through, or they're also beholden to big money donors?
The thing is, they have to raise the money too. And that's why, I mean, Donald Trump, he had it right. He said we must drain the swamp. When he got to Washington, however, the swamp is not drained. And I don't even mean to say that to fault him so much. It's just realistically, he had to raise the big money also. And he didn't raise as much in 2016, and Clinton outraised him and outspent him. But of course, Trump had massive free media because people could never turn a camera away from him because he was great television. I mean, he got effectively $1 billion worth of free media. But for this coming election, President Trump and his allies have raised massive amounts from big donors. And so when they get to Washington, they won't be able to do it anymore for us. At the end of the day, until we change where candidates get their money, nothing's going to change.
The big money donors, the likes of Wall Street, big tech, big pharma, do they take the anti-establishment message with a grain of salt? Do they feel like even if candidates are pushing it, they feel once they get into power, they'll have to, do what we want them to do?
I think that they know perfectly well. I think they do. It's been working for them well enough. Well, actually, I think it's been working for them well enough, but I think that these donors, look, first of all, I want to say the big donors are not villains. They're doing what they have to do. I mean, they have to protect themselves from the political system. And the head of any corporation who doesn't spend money on politicians and lobbyists is forfeiting an advantage to his competitors and ought to be fired. He's not doing his job. So again, I'm not saying the politicians and the donors are evil people. They're not, okay? It's the money's the enemy, not our fellow Americans. But I think that one of the reasons why I think that our reform effort will succeed is that even the big donors are saying they're not getting what they need from the political system anymore, because what does the business community have to have from every political system? Yeah, they want lower taxes, light regulation. What they have to have is stability and predictability, and that's gone out the window in this country 7 or 8 years ago. So people told me when I started my venture, you're going to face a wall of money from the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. I'm not saying I'm waiting for a check from Charles Koch. But I think if I get a chance to talk to the business community, I think they will see that I'm not their enemy and that ultimately it's in every American's interest to bring back government by the people and have a stable government that all Americans respect and trust.
That was Dan McMillan, Save Democracy in America. The full interview will be broadcast this Friday on NTD.com.